Hey everybody, welcome to Life in Calgary, Alberta. I'm your host, Patrick Murray, and today we're going to talk about the latest real estate stats for the city of Calgary as of January 2026. That's right, it's a new year and exciting times ahead in the real estate industry here in Calgary. But before I do that, if this is your first time to this channel and you'd like to know everything there is about what it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, live, and play in Calgary, Alberta, then please just hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you get notified every single time I release a new video. Now, I've lived in several major centers in my adult life, but I settled in Calgary way back in 2001, and not only that, I've been a residential realtor here since 2010. So if you are considering selling a home or you're considering purchasing one, please feel free to reach out to me, send me a text, email, or a phone call. I will absolutely get back to you. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's talk about the latest real estate stats so you know where we've come from and where we're going for the coming month and the year ahead. All right, so here we go. So it is January 2026. It is a new year. I don't know about you guys. I'm a little bit happy to put 2025 behind me. It was a bit of a challenging year for a few reasons, but you know what? The new year is an opportunity for renewal to start again and to see where we're going to go. So I'm excited about the new year. I'm going to get into things here and start talking about uh, real estate in the city of Calgary, the latest stats as of the end of December 2025. So this is the latest and greatest. Of course, we're into this January right now. We haven't finished, so we don't have the end of the month stats. So this is what we have here. Now, I always talk about benchmark pricing. So just to reiterate here, if you've seen these before, I'm sorry I'm putting you through this again, but benchmark pricing talks about what the average price of a home is in all sectors of the market. So whether it be a detached, semi-detached, row or apartment sector of the market. And it's different from community to community, but it puts it together for each community and it talks about benchmark pricing. It's a far more stable way of discussing pricing as opposed to average or median pricing where the data could get skewed. So for example, in a community, there might be one sale of a condo in 1 month, which isn't a very good representation of what prices are actually sitting at in that community for condominiums going off of one sale. It's not a large enough sample size. So we talk about benchmark pricing as a far more stable way of discussing pricing. So without further ado, let's get into things here. I am going to just make things a little larger here just so we can see a little bit better. All right. And we're going to talk about detached sector, semi-detached sector, the row or townhouse sector, and the apartment condominium sector. And first and foremost, let's take a look at all of these dials going across the way here. We're sitting in balance just into buyer's market in the semi-detached sector, into a buyer's market in the townhouse sector, and into a buyer's market in the condominium sector. But not midway in the buyer's market. We're kind of just into the buyer's market in all these sectors. So, but it is telling as to what's happening in the city right now. So let's look at the detached sector. So sitting in balanced territory at 37%, and that's because, and we're going to pop down 2 rows here to the active and sold listings. There were 1,587 new listings that came in the market last month, with 587 of them, or in other words, 37% of those listings selling last month. And that's what gives us this listing absorption rate. And you can see 30 to 50% is balanced market territory, 30% and below is a buyer's market, and 50% above is a seller's market. So balanced market is a very healthy market because buyers and sellers are making prudent decisions. Nobody's feeling like they have to make a quick decision or a sudden decision, that sort of thing. And no one's really at risk of making a bad decision. Everybody's kind of more in an equal playing field when we're sitting in this balanced territory. Now we'll look at the benchmark price here, sitting at $726,900 for the month of December. Again, this takes into account all the detached homes in the city, whether it's a $2 million home in one community or a 500 or sub 500 $100,000 home. I don't know where that would be um, in the city of Calgary, but it puts them all together to come up with this benchmark price. Now, this figure is down just 0.6% from last month, but year to year, it is down 2.63% from December 2024. So yes, it's down, but it's not down drastically. And you know what? We talk about a seasonal slowdown that happens every year in the market as we get into winter, and that's kind of what's happened in the detached sector and the semi-detached sectors of the market. And the average days on market sitting at 52. Now we'll look at the semi-detached sector. This absorption rate sitting at 25%. So we are just into buyer's market territory. That's because there were 382 new active listings on the market last month, with 96 of them selling for that 25% absorption rate. The benchmark price in the semi-detached sector is sitting at $666,800 month over month. That's down 0.74% from November, which isn't bad at all. Down year over year, 1.56% from the year prior. This sector of the market, yes, it's a smaller sector of the market in Calgary, but this sector of the market has been quite resilient and has been doing very well, even with the seasonal slowdowns. And I'll tell you, in my community in Renfrew, the benchmark price for a semi-detached home is over $900,000. So it just kind of tells you what kind of product we're seeing out there. Some of these semi-detached homes, many of them are, well, they are full-size homes. They maybe don't have the same yard as a detached home, but they're quite beautiful properties, and some of them are the same size, if not larger, than detached homes. So these are a really nice product. Average days on market sitting at 54 days on market on average. And then we'll look at the row sector or the townhouse sector of the market. That listing absorption rate sitting at 26%. And that's because there were 653 active listings for sale last month, with 171 of them, or 26% of those listings selling. And that gives us this number here. The listing absorption, or sorry, the benchmark price here is sitting at $421,300 for a townhome in the city of Calgary. Month over month, that's down 1.01% from November, but year over year, and here's the difference, is down 5.64% from December 2024. So this has come down a fair bit, as you can see, and that's because we have a lot more of this product type on the market, as well as apartments. In fact, more apartment condominiums than we do townhouses on the market. And that's for a couple of reasons. One is there's been a lot of builders building this type of product in the market. So the new build product is competing with the resale market. And then we also have, our immigration policy in Canada has changed. So we don't have as many people looking to buy these entry-level homes, if you will, in these communities. And another thing that's happened is there were a lot of people that jumped into the market when the market was hot, thinking they were going to become landlords, and then rents got softer. And so they're also selling those products. And so that adds to the inventory, and that's why we're seeing increased inventory and slower sales in this market. 50 days on market on average. Let's jump over to apartment condominiums, sitting at 22% listing absorption rate into that buyer's territory again. And that's because there were, look at this, guys, 1,238 properties for sale last month that came on the market, new listings, with 272 of them, just 272, or 22% of those listings selling last month. Now, month over month, this figure is down 1.56%. This $303,600 list benchmark price, down 1.56% from last month. Year over year, and take a look at this, down 7.35% from December of 2024. So there's a lot more product on the market here, taking an average of 57 days on average to sell one of these properties. If you are fortunate enough to be in this 22%, that's right, that 272 of the 1,238 new listings in the market that happened to sell last month. So that's kind of what's happening in the market right now. The good news is, as I said, 2025 is behind us. We're moving into the new year. People are still saying that the pundits are still saying Alberta is the market to watch, and Calgary specifically is the market to watch. And there is expected to be some growth in the coming year. And you know what? Rates are pretty good too. If you want to discuss what's happening in the market or how this might affect you, whether you're a buyer or a seller, please feel free to reach out. I'm here to assist anytime.
As I said earlier, if you are considering a move to the city of Calgary or one of the better communities, or you're considering selling your home, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me a text, email, or a phone call. I will absolutely get back to you so you can live your life in Calgary, Alberta.